Today on Son of a Binge, we are getting a little spooky and chatting with one of the stars of Paramount Plus's hit show School Spirits. Kiara Pichardo, who plays Nicole, is here with us. Kiara, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, of course. And we have my lovely guest co-host, Rob Licuria from Gold Derby and from just Australia, to be honest.
You
um,
know, yeah.
that's all he
Um,
has to say.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm really excited to talk about this show.
So I want everyone to know I binged this show in 24 hours. It was a 24-hour binge for me. And I realized last night I woke up from like a bone-chilling nightmare, and it is definitely Kiara because of your show. I think someone grabbed me. I think it was like a dead person grabbing me, and I was like, where did
Maybe
that
it
come
was
from?
Janet.
I
Maybe it
Janet
was Janet.
Janet is terrifying. We're gonna get to the Janet of it all. But Kiara, before we get started, what shows did you grow up watching?
Oh gosh. It was more sitcoms, obviously. I'm a 90s kid, but Full House,
The
Growing
best.
Pains. I used to watch Friends not because like with my aunt, because that was one of her favorite shows, so I would sit next to her and watch it.
You watch Growing Pains?
Yeah, I know that one's a little older than I am, but yeah, it would be on reruns.
Yeah, I have to say Growing Pains was one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. And Kirk Cameron, I remember like he was so quote unquote dreamy. What other shows did you grow up binging?
Boy Meets World was a good one that I
Yeah.
watched a lot. Um, Disney Channel, what? Lizzie McGuire, Even Stevens.
Oh, just the classics,
As a
right?
kid, yeah, yeah.
And, and when did you know you wanted to be an actor?
In college, so
Yeah.
I wanted to be a photographer originally, and all throughout high school, I did photo, I did film, and then I went into digital, and I like my first semester in college, I was like, yep, I went into a community college. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a few of my with the presecs and then transfer to a photography school and art school. And then I accidentally did a play because my cousin dragged me because she wanted to audition, but she didn't want to go by herself. So I didn't even, I didn't plan on auditioning. But then the director said everyone who's sitting in the auditorium has to audition or they have to leave. Like they can't just sit and watch. And I was like, well, what the heck? I just missed my bus. So I auditioned and I ended up getting a part. Yeah. And then I was like, what do I do now? Because I knew nothing about plays. And then I did my
Mhm.
first play and I fell in love and like I switched my major to a theater option. And then it's been going since then.
The rest is history. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So one thing I always love to do is ask people to describe their show to someone who's never watched it, who you want them to
Ooh.
watch it, but you have to do it in 30 seconds or less. So here is
Okay.
School Spirits by Kiara. Go for it.
All right. If you're ready for a whodunit murder mystery type of show where there's spirits and human people and they're trying to figure out what happened to this one body, this show is for you.
That was
Ooh.
great. I
Oh,
love how
good.
you're I love how you said they're human people. You can tell you've been
Human
doing this show
people.
for a long time. You're like, there's
Yeah.
humans too.
Yeah, I have to
Um,
differentiate because
Yeah.
they call them they say the alive when they're like the PAs. Yeah, I have one of the alive people and then one of the dead. So they like refer to us because there's
as
so many of
alive and
us.
dead.
Yes.
What do they say to Peyton? Because she's like, I feel
Well,
like,
right. She's like in both, but no, she's considered in the spirit world. So
okay,
technically,
so she's,
throughout, yeah, season one and well, I don't want to give anything away, but like season two, yeah,
yeah.
she's in the spirit world. So
Okay,
she's one of the
okay, yeah.
dead.
All right. So my version of this show is it's like Veronica Mars meets Buffy the
Mm.
Vampire Slayer without vampires. A girl is murdered in high school, but her spirit is stuck in school with a bunch of other dead kid spirits, and she can talk to one of her alive friends, and they have to figure out who murdered her. And by the end of season one, you're gonna think that everyone murdered her.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on. That's it right there.
Yeah, that's it. So, Rob, how about you? Because Robert also just started watching this show, and
Okay.
he's already fallen in love with it. He texted me very late last night. But Rob, you haven't made it to season two yet, right? The
Mm-mm.
okay,
So I would like this show has no business being this good. Like I was watching it and I'm like, damn, bro, this is good. This is really, really good. I was watching it with my 16-year-old daughter and my wife, and my son was upstairs. He never watches TV with us, and we're like, this is fun. Let's watch another one. let's watch another one. And then we're like, we need to go to bed.
5 hours
Yeah,
later.
I'm really into it.
That's
So,
I
good.
love
I'm
it.
glad. No, quick shout out to the writers and the creators of the show, Nate and Meg, they're like the best. They're a sibling duo and they're like dynamic duo. They're the best.
I love that.
yeah,
A lot of the relationships in the show have such like sibling vibes to it, but in the best way possible. And
Yeah.
they really hit that. Like with you and Simon, Nicole and Simon have really good sibling vibes. And I actually want to get into all the relationships and everything. So we're gonna get there very soon. But let's if you don't mind, Kiara, recap what Nicole's story was in season one.
mm,
Give us the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, so in season one, she's one of the best friends trio with Simon and Maddie. And when this whole thing happens, she transferred from Boston, right, to this school. And she's definitely one of those who she's not like the most unpopular person, but she's not the most popular either. She's just trying to figure things out. And she loves her friends like tremendously, like those people who plan on going to college where their friends go because she wants to be with her friends type of thing. And she's super artsy. She means well, although in season one you see her do the snowball effect of like mistakes. A little outrageous if you ask me. Um, but yeah, she's just, trying to figure it out, trying to make something of herself, and sometimes maybe she has a little low self-esteem, but her friends like fill her up kind of thing. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
season
And
one.
so her best friend Maddie is the one who has been murdered and is the spirit. And unfortunately, Nicole cannot see her and talk to her. Only Simon can,
Mhm.
as far as we know. So last we left Nicole, and at the end of season one, she was digging a hole in the rain. And I gotta say, that's when someone's up to no good. Like you don't look guiltier than that when you're like digging a hole in the
Yeah,
rain with your car headlights lighting you up. Like, first of all, I'd be terrified to do that. I don't go out in the rain and the mud.
seriously.
mm.
No, especially in the woods. Yeah, no, I didn't know I was a suspect until I read that episode because they gave us the episodes right before we would shoot it. We didn't get
Yeah.
them at like the beginning of the season. So I was like,
Okay.
oh, I'm gonna be accused. Got it.
Yeah. You're
I was
like,
like, oh, there's this whole scene of me being mysterious and
and
kind
then
of crazy.
were you looking back and being like, wait a minute, have I been the murderer all along?
Yeah, right. No, yeah. But I was like, I feel like they would have told me if I was. You know what I mean? Like, because that would have influenced a whole bunch of actions throughout the season. But
Mm.
yeah, no, I didn't know I was a suspect till I read the episode
Yeah. I love how they don't
right before
trust you
shooting.
guys. They don't trust you at all.
Mm.
They're just like,
I don't
listen.
I don't know if they do it on purpose, like to just get us like thinking and like really invested, even though we were already invested. But I think they were just scared that it was gonna get leaked somehow. But oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we were like the way that fans find out what's happening, that was us on set getting
Yeah.
our
Wow.
script a week before shooting.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so if we're
amazing.
shooting episode 1 and 2, we would get 1 and 2 like a week or two before shooting, but we
That
wouldn't
is
get
amazing.
3, 4, 5, or like we would get it later.
Yeah, I actually think in some ways that could probably help your acting a little bit because they probably don't want you to telegraph like, oh, I know this person, like I know they're lying right now or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
So what kind of debauchery is Nicole up to this season?
I feel like this season, I feel like she's a lot more confident. I feel like after she figured out, okay, maybe Simon and Maddie aren't my only friends, you'll see relationships between her and Claire, her and Xavier kind of flourish, which is kind of nice. We didn't really see that in season one. And then
Yeah,
just really, well, if you see up to episode 6, you see the whole thing with the texting with Shredhead and it
yeah.
ending up being who and
We know who, and we won't. I won't release it before then, so you can say it.
Oh, okay,
'Cause
okay. So Xavier ends up being Xavier, and she's like, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" Like, she probably shared so many personal things.
Yeah, but
Um,
I have to say, in season one, you start to see. I'm like a little bit of a Xavier and Nicole stan. I'm gonna admit it, guys. But Xavier starts. Robert, you probably don't know this, and we're gonna let you kind
Mhm.
of pipe
That's
in with
okay.
your season one dreams here.
oh wait, are we
Mm.
spoiling it?
No,
Has
no,
it?
Yeah,
it's all
Okay,
no,
good.
he's gonna still watch it the same
okay, okay.
way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Listen, Robert and I once covered a show together that he's been covering for years, and then he confessed to me that he had never even watched all of season 1. He started watching at the end of season 2, and I was like, "Are you a sociopath?"
I'm
Like,
crying. How did you know what to ask?
She will never get. She
he
will
just
never get over it.
he like faked it. He watched the episodes that he needed to for the interviews with actors, but I just want you to know my friend Robert here is a lie.
Listen, I can't watch everything, and I usually do watch everything. I'm very well prepared as an interviewer, but there are
You
some
are.
exceptions. And this
Yeah.
show, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, but it
Not
was
this one,
shocking.
the other
And
one.
he didn't release it. I think I released the truth until like maybe the 6th
That's
or
funny.
7th season.
She's
So
trying to take me
I'm
down. She's
crying.
always trying to take me
this
down.
is my public takedown.
She's trying to make you look bad.
Xavier starts out as like you immediately think, oh, he killed Maddie, right?
The first
That's
suspect,
kind of
yeah.
yeah. I mean, he definitely has so many layers. But Robert, you'll start to see, and Kiara, you can tell me if I'm wrong, like Nicole and Xavier start to really like grow closer.
Mhm.
And I think Nicole views herself as, oh, he'd never be interested in me. I
Mhm.
think there's part of that there because she thought, oh, you know, Maddie and Simon were my only friends. But then you start to see them kind of getting closer. So can you just
The
tease
bond,
for
yeah.
us? Is
You,
there gonna be a little romance there? Like we might need it.
you know, that's probably a question from Nate and Meg. I don't know what they're gonna write in season 3, but if there is one, who knows, you know?
Yeah.
It seemed to me, it seemed the whole texting and not knowing who it was, but then figuring it out, it seemed like, oh, okay, bummer. Like I can't go there, I think, but I don't know where Nate and Meg are gonna go. But
Yeah.
in season 1, I could say like I remember shooting that scene in the tower scene. And I remember Iran coming up after we did like a few takes. She's like, Kiara, can you try to do this one like not flirty? And I was like, oh, I wasn't, I wasn't doing it flirty. But I guess it's just on camera. It seemed like, you know, that kind of chemistry. And I was like,
Flirty.
oh dang, how do I tone this down?
Yeah. You're like, I
um
can't take
Wow.
away my natural charm.
I was like, wait,
Yeah.
I didn't even think I was doing it that way. So I guess I could see how in season 1 that kind of came off the way, but I feel like it was more platonic than anything. Cause you know, I think she was just listening to what he had to say and saw how sincere he was being, and then
Mhm.
being like, okay, I don't think he did this, you know, the way he
Yeah.
was acting, the way he was responding, and how real he was compared to how he would talk to us in the hallways and stuff. I feel like she was just maybe for the first time able to see who he really was compared to what we
Yeah.
were hearing in school.
Yeah, and I think you guys did a great job with that. And but I have to say you and Spencer have very good chemistry. And I think Nate and Meg maybe like saw that flirtiness and they're like, oh, wait, because that's happened on a lot of shows where
Mm.
they're like, oh, these two actors really work well together. Did you ever watch How I Met Your Mother?
I think I watched a few episodes, not religiously, but I think I've seen a few episodes.
You know, that's a show that I believe almost became a victim of itself. Robin and Barney
Mm.
had such good chemistry and they got them together after so many years. Are you going to watch it? Because I don't want to spoil it for you. But it, like
No,
that
you could. I'm
finale,
not one of those.
yeah, what that
No.
finale basically undid their entire relationship
Oh
to
wow.
put Robin with another character and it was just like they clearly wrote them together because they had such good chemistry, but they had decided the finale when they first started the show, which I have to say you should not do. You need to gravitate away from it. But Robert, what's your opinion of that?
Yeah, I think shows need to be obviously more organic. All the best shows have a arc that they've planned out over, say, 5 seasons, but you have to go where the writing and the actors and the outside world takes you, and particularly when there's a certain character that is getting a lot of buzz from the audience. And I feel like in this show, like when the show first starts, I was really gravitating towards Simon, played by Kristian Ventura. What an amazing actor. So beautiful the way he performs as the sad friend. But then I really have started gravitating now towards Xavier and good old Nicole. I'm really invested
Same.
in the story. I love the Nicole character, especially Kiara, because to me she's one of the gateways into the show. She's relatable, non-threatening in a relatable way, and the audience needs someone to root for and to kind of go along with. And I feel like you're doing that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that aspect as well.
Kiara, I have to ask a question. You know, Spencer is now on the way home. He popped up on that show. So,
Mhm.
like, I'm concerned if you have a season 3, am I going to lose Xavier and Nicole and I will not have it?
I mean, I feel like they would work it out.
Okay.
This season he actually had to, I remember in between takes for our show, he went and shot some scenes for them, like flew across, did it,
Wow.
and then came back. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're
So
like, Reshma, there's something in
yeah,
those planes.
I
Well,
think I think they'll figure it out. I think they'll figure out the scheduling. And also just to touch on they're all phenomenal actors, but Kristian, I literally would call him the Leonardo DiCaprio of our set because he's like amazing. He's
he
amazing.
is, he's so, the
You all are.
duality he
Yeah.
shows, like one
Mm.
minute you feel so sorry for him. And then actually I was going to talk about Nicole and Simon's relationship. I believe there's a very sibling vibe there, but do
Mhm.
you ever think that they would get together?
I don't Me
Mm.
personally, I don't see it because we're so sibling like, and it's funny because
Mhm.
on camera we're like that, but off camera we're like that too. Like we're always bickering in a good way, but we love each other, you know.
Yeah.
Like I would consider him my best friend on set. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Yeah, I don't want you guys to get together. I just want to make my
No,
my
no.
Yeah, no,
desires
no.
known.
I
And
actually shipped Simon and Maddie for a little bit in the
so
beginning,
that's
but
what
it
I
didn't
was
go
just
that
going to
way.
talk about.
Simon
Like,
and Maddie.
what do
Yeah.
you think? I mean, I think they are one of the main love stories of the show. And, you know,
Mhm.
clearly Maddie and Wally,
Wally.
without giving, you know, they're kind of swimming in some kind of flirtation, no pun intended.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys will see what I mean. Um, but do you think Ghost Maddie could get jealous when if Simon, like Simon has not really moved on, but
Hmm. I feel like it could go that way. If they wrote it that way, I feel like I can see because she's probably never seen him with a girlfriend. So who
yeah,
knows how she'll act, you know? Who
yeah.
knows?
You know, their
Yeah.
relationship. Did you ever watch 13 Reasons Why?
Yes.
Oh, I thought the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like very much like when I was watching 13 Reasons Why and when I watched Simon and Maddie together, you want them to get together and then you're like, "Oh my God, one of them is dead." And it's like
It's like they
feeling that
can't.
loss
Yeah.
over and over and over, and
Yeah.
it makes it kind of sad.
Wow. I never thought
So,
of it that way, but yeah, it's
yeah,
like
like
that.
Yeah.
I just remember, I mean, you remember in 13 Reasons Why they're dancing to that song that I know we all remember that I cannot remember right now the name of it.
Yeah, there's so many
But
parallels to that show.
Kiara, did you ever watch Veronica Mars and Buffy and those kind
Um,
of shows?
Buffy, yes. The Veronica Mars,
Okay.
not so much.
Okay,
But I
so I'm
know,
not
like, you know, Kristen Bell, I know she's
Yeah,
Kristen
amazing.
yeah.
Bell, who's in
She's
Nobody
awesome.
Wants This. She's awesome. And
Love
that
that
is
show.
where you will first fall in love with Kristen Bell in a way that she's even better than in
Oh,
Nobody
I gotta
Wants
watch
This.
it.
So
I
like
gotta
not
Yeah,
watch
to
it.
give
it's
you
great.
homework, but like I expect you to watch it and I expect you to tell me what you think of it because it actually is
Yeah.
really good.
Is it like Steve in the sense of like Steve Carell, like the first I fell in love with Steve. No, Steve Carell, yeah, when he played Michael Scott
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
in The Office. That's
Yes.
when I
It's like the
really fell
beginning.
in love with
So I will say I love Kristen Bell the most because of Veronica Mars. Like
Oh
and
wow, I
and
gotta watch
the
it then.
Office,
I gotta
yeah, the
watch it.
Office and Veronica Mars are nothing alike, so don't think she's going to be Michael Scott. It's kind of like dark comedy but like teen drama. So it's like
Mm.
all the great things about your show. It just was done a little differently. She plays
Oh, I
like a
love that.
young detective. Nobody is dead. Or like nobody is a spirit as far as we
Yeah.
know.
There has to be
It's a
dead
good
people.
show.
She's a cop.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Exactly.
All right, I gotta watch it.
Yeah, please do, and let us know what you think. What shows are you binging right now?
Oh my gosh. To be honest, I'm not. Like, I think the last show. Actually, wait. Yesterday, I just started watching The Night Agent season 2,
Excellent.
Nice.
I
and
haven't
that's a good
started that
one.
one
It's a good
yet.
one.
Yeah.
I haven't started that yet.
It's
Yeah, I
oh,
just
it's so good. You gotta watch it.
okay, I'll do
It
that
took
while you're
forever
watching.
for the second season. That was like the
I
crazy
know, what
part.
the hell?
I
But
Yeah.
think
not since you guys haven't watched it, you have two nice seasons, 10 episodes each. It's like an hour. It's the best.
it's gonna be
Beautiful.
gold. While you're doing Veronica Mars, we'll do that. I mean,
Great.
Robert will start in season 2 anyways. He doesn't do season
Yeah.
1, but that's fine.
Right. Yeah, no. I don't watch. I probably should watch more. I've been
Yeah.
watching The Chosen too. That one's a good show.
Oh, I
But
haven't seen
Chose.
that one.
yeah, it's on
I need to
Netflix.
check it out. Okay, I will check that
Okay.
one out. So I have a question. What are the hardest scenes for you to play? Because, you know,
Mm.
especially for Kristian, I feel like he's talking to the alive, the dead. Like, is it hard for you to navigate around all the dead? The spirits, I mean.
You know, I mean, he has it a lot more difficult because he can only see Maddie. And he has
Yeah.
so many
Mm.
scenes with them. And it's like he has to ignore the others, but he can see Maddie. But then sometimes he can't see Maddie. It's just Kristian has a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
But we only had a few scenes where we're around the ghost. It's very much like poker face, like you don't react to them passing by you and stuff. So I wouldn't say it's like the most difficult, but it is something like we have to be mindful. Like
Yeah.
every time it happens,
Yeah,
it's
like
different.
sometimes in the group scenes, I look and you can sometimes catch like
A
someone being
little,
like, yeah, a little like, oh,
uh,
they reacted to that spirit person, but it's
it's
like,
hard.
it's so hard. I would just like, I would not be able to do it.
It's hard too because they're hilarious. Like their lines are so funny. And
Yeah,
so and they improv. So there's times that they're just especially Milo, he's
yeah,
always improving and it's like it's so funny to watch.
yeah. Wally is
Hard
like
not to
such a great Milo, like Wally's such a great character.
yeah, one of my favorites.
Yeah. I love that you're a fan of your co-stars. Like, talk to me a little bit about like the dynamic between all of you guys. Like,
Yeah.
what is it like working with Peyton and Milo, everyone?
It's literally the best. I feel it's actually bittersweet the way I think about it because I know every set's not going to be like this, but we're like a family.
Yeah.
And so like we hang out almost every weekend when we're over there when we shoot in Vancouver because we don't have anywhere else to go. We only have each other pretty much. We're all staying in the same building. And so we just hang out a lot offset. And even on set, like the green room it's like a party every time. It's a
Yeah.
party. People are
Mm.
doing TikTok videos and funny pictures. We're playing games. We play code names a lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
amazing.
good game. We were always doing like board games and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Honest.
Speaking of a game, I want to play a little superlatives with you. I'm going to say something, and then you have to name your cast member or friend that's kind of fills this out. So,
Okay.
who is the first one to break in a scene?
I would say Sarah and Nick when they're
Okay.
together.
Okay.
They laugh.
Who never forgets a line?
I feel like it's like between Kristian and Spence, I think. Actually,
Oh, really?
Rainbow's pretty on point too.
Oh, that's
Rainbow.
Oh,
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Even Peyton, gosh, oh my gosh, all of them basically. But no, I have to choose one.
Yeah, yeah, choose one.
Okay, okay. Maybe Rainbow.
Rainbow. Okay,
Yeah.
Rainbow for the win there. Who's the funniest on set? You can pick more than
Milo.
one for that. Milo?
Milo.
he
Sarah's
looks
pretty
pretty funny.
hilarious when she's telling a story. She's very charismatic.
Oh
I
mate,
like hearing her
Sarah.
stories. She's so expressive and it's funny. She cracks us up. So I would say Milo and Sarah.
Milo and Sarah. Okay. Who's always on time and never late?
Spencer.
Punctual.
Wait,
No.
I feel like we're all kind of late sometimes.
Okay.
Maybe Sarah. Sarah.
Okay, Sarah for the win. I
Yeah.
felt like Spencer had it, and then you remembered
No, because there
something.
was a few times where I would go down and I was waiting for him because sometimes they'll pick us up at the same time if our call time's
Okay.
close. And I'll be waiting, or vice versa. He'll be waiting for
It's even Steven there.
me.
Who is the best texter?
Texting? Oh gosh. I would say Sarah.
Sarah. You can pick
Wow.
yourself, by the way. That is allowed.
I'm not a good text. Oh, maybe me. Sure.
She goes,
Oh.
okay, I'll give it that.
Oh,
Who's most likely to send a voice text?
this is getting deep.
So we don't usually send voice notes in our group chat and stuff, but I feel like I would say me because Hispanics do that a lot, and I do that a lot with my family.
Okay. And do people in your cast, do you guys have a cast group chat?
Yeah, yeah. I remember when we first made it, we had a COVID sign because we were so scared of getting COVID. And a few people had gotten it. We're like, okay, this is the COVID group.
Oh gosh. Did you change
Yeah.
the name of the group chat now?
Yes, it changed in season 2. It changed. I
Okay.
think
Okay.
I forgot. I think it's a picture of like Mr. Martin or something. Yeah, I think.
I love
I don't
that.
know if they changed it again, but last time it was Mr. Martin.
Okay. And then which cast member would you choose to be stuck as a school spirit with for all of eternity?
Oh wow,
That's a hard one, I know.
that is a hard one.
Mm.
You can pick, you know what? You get 2 ghost
As their
friends.
character or them in real life? How is
Them in
this?
real life. Them in real life.
I would say Kristian. We'll play chess.
Aw, the whole time. For all of eternity, you're playing chess.
Yeah,
Why not?
forever.
Why not?
Okay.
And he'll
Forever.
beat me every time.
Those are 2 best friends there. Okay, so for the season 2 finale and like what we're leading up to for the last 2 episodes, what are you excited? What scene are you excited for fans to see with Nicole that you're like, I can't give the spoiler, but I can tell you you're gonna not want to miss this.
And I just, I don't know if, can I say cabin?
Cabin?
Cabin scene.
Okay,
Cabin
that's all.
You need to
Yeah,
say.
so cabin is good. And so to
Yeah.
add on to that, when you read the script for the season 2 finale, what was your reaction to it? And give us 3 words to describe it.
Oh my gosh. Well, like I said, we would get it like a week before when we do the table read.
Yeah.
And thankfully this time around our table reads were in person, not on Zoom. Thank God. But we all just sort of looked at each other. We're like, oh, wait, what? And so that was my reaction. Wait, what?
Wait, what? You're not,
Wait,
there's not even a
what?
3rd word there. It's just wait,
No,
what?
wait, what?
I love it. I have to say season 2, I definitely like I could text during season 1 and do other things, but season 2 you need
have to pay attention.
And all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say is because of the Janet of it all. Like
Mhm.
it gets
There's a lot of
gets
info.
and there's a lot of info, and if you blink, you're like, wait, is someone alive or dead? I can't tell. And that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to comment that this show is funnier than I was expecting. So it's really dark subject matter, and yeah, it's compelling, and the fantasy element of it all is told in a really naturalistic and matter of fact way. And I'm just wondering, Kiara, when you're delivering lines and you're in scenes and it is funny, but you're also dealing with the death of one of the students. How's that tone worked out on set? Is it just completely apparent in the script, or is this something that the producers and the directors are giving you guys?
The producers and the directors, thankfully, they're very collaborative. So I feel like what we brought to the table, they sort of took that and then they molded it if they wanted to. But if not, they kind of let us do our thing, which was nice. I feel like you don't get that on every set. You know, sometimes you get the directors or writers that are like, no, stick to the script, but they were very, very nice in like making sure that it felt organic to us too. And yeah, there was a lot of moments. I get what you're saying, because when we first read it, I was like, oh wow, this is so emotional. And we also play it very emotional, especially alive people.
Yeah.
We have to like, we're the
Like
drama of the
naturally.
show, and then the ghosts
Exactly.
are like the comic relief, you know. But in season 2, hey Robert, I can't wait for you to get there because it switches.
Yeah.
Then the alive
Oh,
people are
really?
very much a little more lighthearted a little bit, and then the
Well,
ghosts,
because they're living in this universe where they are talking to spirits, and you're just like, oh, this is unhinged. We have to find the humor.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
in season 2, what we didn't see in season 1 was basically their scars, like how they really died. And we see that in season 2. So obviously they have to be a little more
Yeah.
dramatic about it because it's more serious on how they died. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, they were really good at letting us figure that out for each character, and really just bringing, like you said, like the organic side of things, and like saying the lines and what each character was feeling in the moment, while also throwing in a few lighthearted lines.
Yeah. And you know what? Just to follow up that, Reshma, and then I'll be quiet. I feel like in the young adult genre, if you want to call it that, sometimes the shows don't take their audiences seriously enough. And I feel like in this show, from what I've seen, the writing is of such a quality that you're giving this younger audience, generally speaking, something really substantial and meaningful to chew on. And even though, for example, I know a 16-year-old who just loves Milo Manheim and she would just watch him read the phone book. But it's nice to have that as well as a show that is delivering something really meaningful and doing it in a way that makes it so compelling. So that's not really a question, it's more a comment. I just feel like you guys should be super proud of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Wow, I really appreciate that. No, shout out to like the Oliver, Nate, Meg, and all the writers and the producers. They're like really the engines behind this, right? We put on paper what they give us, but they're the ones that are the masterminds behind.
Hey, listen,
Mhm.
you guys bring it to life, no pun intended, in a way that's like brilliant, both from a dramatic standpoint and comedy. So to wrap, I'm gonna say the son of a binge baton, you get to pass it off to someone in your show, one of your cast members. Who would you want us to talk to next? And what do you think they are binging right now?
I think son of a bitch should talk to Kristian next. And I don't know what he's binging. He reads a lot. He's probably reading a book right now.
What book do you think he's reading? Let's see if you're
I
right.
don't know the books he be reading. I'm like, where did you get this? Huh? But he's just so smart. He's so intelligent. I feel like I tell him all the time he has a soul of a 50-year-old. He's very poetic. Like he'd be reading poems, and he's just really interesting. Like I think you guys would have a good chat with him.
Okay. All right, Kristian, we're coming for you. The season 2 finale of School Spirits airs on March 6th on Paramount Plus, and you heard it from Kiara. What was your tease for it again? Wait.
What?
What?
Do you see
Wait,
how
what?
long that pause? Yeah, wait,
You
what?
gotta have the pause.
I
I
know,
have to
do it
remember
again.
my line. I was like, wait, what
Yeah,
did I say?
I know, I forgot it too. I was like, wait, what was it? Okay, ready? What was it again?
Wait, what?
Boom, did it. All right, Robert, Kiara, thank you so much. This is wonderful. And don't forget to watch, guys. This is a hit show that you need to be watching.
Ever do another interview, we'll talk about Veronica Mars.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait
We'll
for you.
touch on
You're gonna re-fall in love with Kristen Bell. That's what's
Okay.
gonna happen.
She's wonderful.
I mean, I already love her because I think she's really funny.
She's
But
so good.
I believe it.
Good
Oh,
place.
just wait. She's like badass in this show. She is like
Oh,
kind
dope.
of, she's like really strong. So you won't find her funny as more as like she just eats men for dinner.
Oh,
Oof.
Yeah. So you'll
Interesting.
enjoy that. It's great.
Okay.
It's good stuff.